Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Roblox here. We are on the free to play. So, I've been talking about doing this video for a while, and today may be the best day because I don't really have anything else to talk about right now. Uh, I just don't really have anything going on in the game. There's no news. Obviously, we have the event, but if you missed my recent episode, I am not going to pull during this event until tomorrow when I will have an increased chance at Georgian. Um, I just think that wow, this is a great champion. Georgia, I think, is gonna be a little bit better for my roster and kind of give me some really good damage. So I figure if I'm gonna pull when I have the best chance at a champion that I really want. Not that this champion's bad. I went over his kit in my video yesterday, and he's a very interesting champion that I see a lot of potential in for both Hydra and Wave Clear. Honestly, it probably would be the better champion for me to go for, just like all around. But Georgian's so cool. Like he's so cool. He ignores Stone Skin. He hits super hard. I want to go for the cool champion. But for all assets of the game, including PvE, he's probably the better choice. By the way, I picked up a blessing for Venomage. I didn't talk about this last episode. So ideally, yeah, I'm probably gonna go Venomage with Phantom Touch because you don't really want more than one uh, cruelty, and we have Deacon Armstrong with cruelty. Deacon will be the fastest character on my team, so he would generate that cruelty up the fastest. So I'm kind of okay with him having the cruelty and then getting the damage out of the other champions. And obviously Venomage very soon, I suspect, I hope that I'll get enough books over the next couple of days to be able to book him out at the end of the next Clan v Clan. So, yeah, we're kind of just in that sit and wait period again. I should be using my energy. As you can see, it's gone up quite a bit. Now, this is also because Doom Tower reset. You'll see I've already done 20 levels of Doom Tower. That's earned me a bunch of resources. Those resources are going to get put towards leveling champions and everything like that. So tomorrow is Saturday. So Saturday reset and then Sunday reset. I may get this is a big May, get another Void Shard. I don't know if I'll be able to get through these bosses, but if we can get that other Void Shard, I will pull it while the 2x is still going on. Best case scenario is a Cold Heart. Hopefully we can get one of those. I am still recovering from being sick. I'm probably going to record this video and crash. I'll probably run some auto battles tonight just to burn through this energy. I think I'm just going to do it in campaign. I'll pop a XP. I have a couple of them that are going to run out from Clan v Clan, so I need to pop those. These ones are lasting way longer, so I want to save those. But we are also in the middle of a champion training event. Now, these aren't necessarily the best items because the snow points I don't really need. Oh, you know what? Maybe I do want them. No, I already got the void. Yeah. I mean, I should still be going for a primal. I don't think those points will be the difference between this and the primal shard, but I do think we only have 2 days left on the Yuletide event. That's interesting. I didn't realize that, but I think I'll go ahead and the epic skill tome right here. Yeah, we should be. Yeah. So I'm not gonna spend brews for this one. However, I think I'd be able to get. I don't really want all of the snow points. Maybe I spend a couple brews. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, the legendary book would be amazing. I just don't think I'm going to be able to grind down and get that. But we do have champions in need of leveling, and I've been putting off Frozen Banshees leveling up long enough. So I think it's time that I take this account a little bit more seriously. I've been kind of slacking, and that's going to happen from time to time, you know, especially during the holidays. I'm being pulled in so many different directions and between work and family and all that. And I know I've talked about this a bunch. I'm not looking for sympathy, but I have to be honest, right? I got to admit to myself like, you know, I haven't been putting in the amount of effort that I should be putting into the account. I do want to check fusions right now, not the big boy fusion, but kind of just look at. We can fuse Bloodfeather, and that's the only one we can fuse at the moment. Pulling Voids won't get us any closer to Razin. Now, getting Razin, he does bring some good. He does bring a good kit. I mean, while other champions also have decreased defense and weaken now, at the moment, I don't have any of those champions, so I really want to be able to capitalize on that. He also brings a triple hitter on the A1, which is something that we lack from hard hitting. You know, we've got a triple hitter on Apothecary, but that's not really what we're, you know, going to cut it. And the turn meter reduction, granted, it's on a way longer cooldown than it should be on, but that can still decrease the turn meter, and maybe this could be a big answer for getting through some Fire Knight moving forward. So I do think I'll go for him. We just gotta wait, and we just gotta get the rares in order to do it. So, all right. But the video that I've been wanting to make, I started with this, is kind of like how I kind of go about my day. Now, I've already done some of this. I mentioned I did the Doom Tower. I'm pretty much stuck in Cursed City. I don't have the Ascension to do this path. I only have a total of 4 Ascension amongst any characters that are ready to do this. I don't have a cleanser for this spider boss. I was going to say I just beat them in Doom Tower, but I only have one level 60 that can go against the spider boss. And this is on normal. Yeah. And then for Bommel, same thing. I have 160. Now, I will have Ray for Bommel. I don't know that I'll have her in time for this rotation. When's this reset? Where does it say? 2 weeks? Okay, so maybe if I can get Ray up fast enough, then we can use Ray and freeze the bombs, and that may get me an opportunity to win here. So we'll see if I can make any more progress in this area. But right now, I'm just stuck, hard stuck. So, and then even on hard, I think I did the first level, and then I can't even get past the second level. Not with the requirements that they have and the current champions that I have in those respective classes. And this isn't, you know, meant for me. So I always work right to left. So then I would go do Doom Tower. And I do this. This is how I do my main and my free to play. So Doom Tower I already did today. What I catch up on any extra keys from Demon Lord. I've got 3 keys put into Nightmare to get the max chest. Brutal, I did 1 key at 21 million. I did 22. So then I come into Arena and start doing Tag Team Arena. First thing I do is check the Bazaar. Make sure we get those fragments. And then I start working my way down the line. So we'll go through here. This is actually it's going to probably take 5-10 minutes to get through this particular fight. But now I just kind of work my way down. And part of that is laziness. Part of that is also because I tend to be surprised by some fights that I think I might lose. I can go over briefly my Tag Team Arena teams. Now, these teams are not super thought out, super thorough. just kind of put together stuff. I have Speed Auras for all my teams because none of these teams are really Go Second teams. The closest to a Go Second team would be something like this team, which is 2 defense-based champions. However, I still want Geomancer to go very quickly because he is a big chunk of my damage. This is my traditional arena team right here. And this one, again, I'm just going for a speed lead and throwing in all the other 60s that I have available. And I just work my way down. I know I'm not going to win all of them, but it's enough to generate me some of the points that I need. And sometimes I find myself winning matches that I never thought I should. In this case, I feel like I might lose a match that I thought I should have won. Because this is a pretty stacked team, and they are surprising me at the moment, if I'm honest. They are built very quick. Yeah. So we'll skip that one. We're not going to win it. No reason to waste my time. I'm likely going to lose this one. They've got a Mithrala. That's not something we can compete against. Yeah, I won't ever be able to beat them because I'll never be able to land my debuff on Mithrala. Mithrala has too much resistance. Yeah, and I tend to come across these teams that are not designed. They should not be in bronze. You know, those are all good teams. I just keep working my way down until I run out of my keys. Now, I should be using my refreshes just because I should be trying to collect as much gold bars as I can and using them for energy, silver, fragments, of course. That's what I should be doing. Obviously, I don't. But you can see here, this is a decent team. One that, you know, you may expect me not to do great against, but the combination of Geomancer and Ultimate Death Knight is quite a good one, especially if they lack characters that can really compete. You know, we just kind of whittle them down one by one using the greatness that is Geomancer. The big thing, of course, is going to be accuracy, but they kind of just do it to themselves, and Ultimate Death Knight just sits there as a tank and whittles them away. So I win in a surprising number of matches this way. Obviously, there are weaknesses to it, right? We just saw Mithrala kind of tear me up, but how is he getting... Well, I guess I don't know enough about Jizzo. I didn't realize that he had a continuous heal, or is it a buff steal? These fights can take a while, but sometimes what I'll end up doing is just doing them on my phone while I'm watching something or playing another game. Sometimes playing my main account on Raid and letting them do their thing. Not looking great, but I was gonna say Coffin Smasher is usually pretty survivable. I've also had Apothecary just solo win me some fights before, so and then I would do the last two. After that, I go in and I do Classic Arena. Again, I typically kind of go from the start and work my way down. This is a team that, you know, on paper, I probably shouldn't really beat. They're a pretty stacked team. However, I've got good speed. I've got a good turn order. And I smack them. So I want to kind of go over that real quick. So we have a great PvP nuker. I don't know too much about Gerda, to be honest. But we've got 3 legendaries on this team with 1 epic. And I smoked them. They didn't even get a turn, right? This is kind of what I'm talking about. I see a lot of people asking me about how they can get better in Arena. And honestly, like, the biggest part of it is just understanding turn order, rotations, turn meter, trying to get that first hit and building your champions up to be tough enough to do real damage. This is one right here where that's a team, if I had my Ray leveled up, that damage coming out of Ray would probably be enough to overcome that. Here again, I think we're going to win this speed battle. Big damage, big damage. Yeah, they're just not built. Here's the thing. Granted, none of their auras would really help, but if you're not going to win the speed battle, you're not going to have turn meter control, if you're not going to have fast champions, because my Deacon isn't anything crazy, then you're going to want a more defensive lead. Not everybody has Ultimate Death Knight. Maybe you have to use Deliana or some other defense champion aura or something. But yeah, you really want to get yourself more survivability. Don't worry about the speed lead when you're going to end up going second if your champions just aren't built fast enough. Now, again, for my team, these champions aren't built fast enough, but he is, and he gives me the turn meter and takes enemy turn meter away and makes up that difference. If this team is built right, they might be able to win because Magnar hits like a truck, but he goes down very quickly. And so then, yeah, I basically go through from top to bottom. Again, a lot of these are fights that you may not think that you can win, and that's kind of my point. But the biggest thing that you want to do in these scenarios is analyze why you did or did not win. The big part here for me about why I am winning is the speed battle. If we look at this one right here, I won the speed battle. I lacked the damage. These are well-built, tanky characters. Vogoth is going to heal every time I do damage. We've got shields and Ally Protect coming out of the Miscreated Monster. And obviously Artak is a very, very hard-hitting HP champion. All these characters are very high HP, very high defense champions that are going to take a lot of hits. This one I'm going to lose to. I'm either going to lose the speed battle, or I'm going to win the speed battle and get Tormund. So I lost the speed battle here. And you may ask yourself, well, if you know that you're going to lose, why bother running it? And that's a great point. If you're in a scenario where you know you're going to lose, and you can play multiple times, what I mean by that is if you can... Yeah, I don't think we have enough, no. Not with Ursula dead. If you know that you can wait the 15 minutes or half hour, however long it is on a refresh, then by all means, don't take these fights and just take the fights you know you can win, wait out the refresh, and then hit the refresh. For me, I don't want to do the waiting. So what I'll do is just keep going on. I'll take the losses. Whenever I take 3 losses, I'll then wait. That's when I'll wait. So, like, we've got 2 losses here. This is going to be loss number 3 probably. I'll then wait and do a refresh with those 3 losses in play. That was the weakest hitting Candrafon I have ever seen. Why even use him? Put a decreased defense champion. I mean, you don't need it, but that Candrafon didn't do anything. He just tickled my champions. All right, so we lost 3 in a row. Now I'm going to... Well, I think I win this one right here, so I'm going to take it, but... But when you lose those in a row, this is another one I think I can win. Herndeg's always tricky for me. I like your skin on your Sill of the Drakes. That is a really heavy built Deliana. I don't think we got it. It was close, though. I think if we had the right awakening on Sun Wukong, we would have been fine. But anyways, if we look at this, we did 50%. That's not too bad. When I lose 3 in a row like this, I would wait, do the refresh, and then usually, probably not now because I've got 4 losses here, so I'm gonna waste a couple gems here, do a refresh, and you'll see then you get some of the free battles where you're gonna win, and maybe get some of the weaker teams in the bunch as well. I think this team just beat me too, but some of these other teams I might be able to win against. This one's Georgian. I want to show you guys Georgian real quick, so I'll take the little 5er here. Well, I might take him out before he gets to do anything. Still could revive him. Or not. Still. Very strong Ragash they've got. I'm going to take my freebie before I forget. And again, this isn't necessarily like the best strategy. It's just the one that I employ. Maybe it's easy, maybe it's lazy. I don't know, but it is something that I like to do. I do think if I go and get myself a proper second nuker, not that Kale's not hitting hard, he is hitting hard, but getting him in there with that proper second hit. What is this guy? I think he just had a ton of defense. That guy was tanky. Alright. So, anyways, I would go through all my arena keys. Once I'm done the arena keys, then I keep on going. And I hop in and do my faction wars. My faction wars aren't super progressed. A lot of them are just being carried by the best champion in those factions. This one takes forever because it's just Ursula. That's really the only one going. You'll see I do throw in a little bit of food here. Well, these 2 food here. Just to gain a couple levels from the runs that we're going to do anyways using multi-battles. They take longer, but it does get... It's not a lot of XP. It's very, very little, but it is extra. And so I do that. Then I come in and I do Iron Twins. My Iron Twins teams are pretty decent now. I think if I'm correct, this is not a 100% here. I think this one is, though. So I would set it up for multi-battle, and I would run all of my multi-battles. Now, with Geomancer being on the team, that is a champion that I would intend to build for Iron Twins in the future. The composition currently set up here is not exactly the best Iron Twins team. Now, if you're building a Geomancer team, it helps to have Aox, but you also want to have champions that don't do any damage and basically just survive off of Geomancer's passive. Well, not survive, but win off of Geomancer's passive, where the boss does all the damage to himself. Now, I have got War Master on all these champions, so we pop him, and he does his big AoE attack right there, and he removes Geomancer's buff, so he doesn't do the damage to himself that we would normally get if we built the team up the right way. See, we're gonna pop him before, so it isn't really a well-built team here. I just kind of threw this team together, basically my clan boss team. I'm curious if it'll still get pulled out here. The weak hits on Geomancer make a big difference, and there we go. Yep. So that's a very tight team. That's why the other one's not 100%. But if I'm able to play around with it and maybe bring in Ultimate Death Knight without War Master and some other things so that we're not burning the boss down other than Geomancer's ability, because Geomancer's ability doesn't trigger the boss. But I think we're a ways away from that. I would need a real healer on the account. I don't really have a real healer, not Apothecary, but and Apothecary is a good healer, but I'm talking like an AoE healer that can really keep us alive, like a Rector Drath, somewhat, you know, that kind of heals. We just don't really have one on the account at the moment, so. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So after all that's done, I've gone through keys. I would have gone through fortress keys, would have gone through my crypt keys. After all of that is done, that is when I start doing my quests. So every day, summon 3 champions. I come in, I summon 10. And then the first thing I do, I come in, I upgrade level. I come down to all these little 1-star guys. We have quite a few of them right now. That's partially because I didn't have enough to do this last night. So we leveled them up to 10, making sure that we're leaving room. So I need to have 2 food right now. So these 2 food. So these 4 are going to remain. So then we come to upgrade rank. I always clear it because sometimes I've like upgraded the rank of the wrong champion. And there you go. Now that completed 2 quests. That completed my summoning quest, and it completed my leveling champions up in the tavern quest. Just checking where we are. Oh yeah, I gotta get started on my monthly battles. We're falling behind there, for sure. Now I would have used 50 energy here by the time I got my Iron Twins done. Beat campaign boss 3 times is simple enough. You come in, you do your battles. Now I'm lucky enough to be able to auto battle this. I cannot auto it on my main account because I use Fellhound and he's not able to clear the boss by himself. He's also coded kind of weird where he'll use his A1. And because I'm changing the comp of that team, I don't really have like the preset runs. So I would do those 3, knock those out. That would get my quest done. And then for leveling up artifacts, there's several different ways you can do it. If you're being silver conservative like me, I try to pick a piece of gear that I would be very excited to put some levels into. So let's look at my speed gear. All right, we've got quite a bit of speed gear right now. Let's see. Tanky stone skin gear. Okay. That's decent enough. We'll level that up to 4. Procced on the HP. Good to see. And claim that quest. If there's a piece of gear that you're currently working towards, let's say there's a piece that you'll see, like this one's up to level 8 because I put 4 in it, then I put it up to 8. If you wanted to take it up to 12, you could. Here's one that I put 4 into. This is a really, really good piece, especially for an HP-based champion. So instead of taking another piece to 4, you could take this one to 8. It'll cost you more silver, but you're getting a quest done at the same time. And then your dailies would be done. You claim them. Check your weeklies. If you always want to check your weekly, because what if this was 5 out of 5, but then all I had to do was upgrade an artifact to 12 and I didn't pay attention to it, and then I'm wasting time on the weekly progression. You want to make sure that you're getting that every 5 days, so that you're not losing some time and reducing the amount of ancients that you can get from that. And that's pretty much how I go about my day. Now, at this point, I would say, okay, where do I want to focus on in the game? Do I want to do, well, what events are going on? Well, there's a Dungeon Divers, but what is the tournament that's going along with it? Fire Knight. I don't really have a Fire Knight team. So let's level up champions, right? And so I would then, before I level up champions, I check my XP. All right, I don't have any, so I would come in here. I would pop one of these guys, maybe the 4-day. If I didn't have any of them in the bank, the best thing you can do is go to the gem shop and go get a 1-day XP boost right here, or a 3-day. The 3 days are great if you plan on actually leveling champions over those 3 days. So for me, with what I said I would do, once all those things are said and done, oh man, we're already at 32 minutes, so I'll make it quick. But I'll pop one of those freebies and then just set on auto battles and put champions in the queue that I can rank up and get through a bunch of this food that I have saved up, making sure that I'm doing a fair balance between 3 stars and 2 stars, including the tricky part here is that I also need to start using my 3 stars as my 4 stars. Now, I probably would have wasted through quite a few of these. Maybe I'll start doing it with duplicates. Yes, you can use duplicates as books. If it's a champion I'm super going to use, I would do that. However, instead of taking Burgoth and feeding him like I was going to do, maybe I just feed the second copy of Hoveries. I could use Hoveries' second copy to book Hoveries' abilities out, but I'm content with just using that one as food. But then in the cases where there are champions that I don't want to use as food, give me 1 second, I'm having a thought here. So that would be Skinwalker Faction Guardians, right? What epic Skinwalkers would I use? Kemptum, Basher, Fane. Those would really be the big epic ones. I think that's an important thing to think about when you're building out your faction guardians. This is something I ran into with Sylvan Watchers. I'm not going to use any rare Sylvan Watchers. They're just on my main account. There just are no Sylvan Watchers that are worth considering for me on the main account. So I just didn't put any rares into it. They're all food. Undead Hordes, I have epics I would use. Obviously, for rare Dark Elves, there are several rare Dark Elves I would use, including Kale and Coldheart. So you want to build that one up. But if it's a faction that you're never going to use champions in, like, I don't think there's any rare Shadowkins that I would use. Yeah, none of these guys are ones that I'm going to, be super excited to use. So I just wouldn't put any of them in the Faction Guardians. I do on my main account for literally no reason, but I still did it because I'm a completionist. But here, where I need to conserve resources, I wouldn't do that. Anyways, I've wasted enough of your guys' time. Tomorrow will be the big video where I'm going to pull those void shards. I'm super excited about it. We'll see who we get, so be sure to catch that tomorrow. All right, that's everything. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.